Hi everyone, this is Shravani. Welcome to my channel NCRT Medicine. In the before video, we discussed some questions of English mock test from the official website of CTET, and that link will be provided in the description box. You can go through it. And in this video, we'll be discussing the remaining questions. And if you have not yet like, share and subscribe my channel, please do like, share and subscribe my channel and encourage me. And let's get started. Question number 11. Alka, a student of class 3, often makes a mistake between sh and the s sounds. As a language teacher, your interpretation will be A. Alka is a careless student. B. As a teacher, you will ignore such silly mistakes. C. Alka's pronunciation is not clear and you will give her more practice. D. It's due to the influence of the dialect or language. The student of class 3 is often, the girl is repeatedly making the mistake between the sh and the s sounds, and as a language teacher, what interpretation or what explanation you will be giving? Alka is a careless student. As a teacher, you should never use the word careless for the student, or you should never ignore the mistakes of the student. Option A and B are wrong. Option C, Alka's pronunciation is not clear and will give her more practice. If the girl's pronunciation is not clear, she will be making mistake with the other sounds also. But here the girl is frequently making mistake between the sh and the s sound. So option B is wrong, that the pronunciation is not clear. Option D is the right one because here the dialect is influencing the language. Dialect means nothing but it is a variety of language which will be having the different pronunciation, grammar and the vocabulary than the standard language. So here option D is the right answer. The dialect is influencing the language. Number 12. Creating a reading corner in the classroom helps. A. Children to learn and revise their syllabus thoroughly. B. To provide opportunities to children to select books independently as per their interest. C. The children but burden the teacher to maintain a register and keep record of their work. D. To share the responsibility of the librarian as the books are issued by the teacher. Here, reading corner means nothing but in a classroom, the corner will be made into a reading corner and the books will be arranged in the shelf. The books will be of different varieties. And it is not like that the books are only related to the subjects. Here, in the reading corner, the books will be of different varieties. So, how does this reading corner will help the children? It is not for learning and revising the syllabus. Option A is wrong. To provide opportunities to children to select books independently as per the interest. Yes, here the reading corner is arranged so that the children will be allowed to go and select the book of their choice and read the book, and like that they will be developing the interest of reading. So option B is the right answer. And in the pedagogy we will be never discussing the reducing the burden of the teacher or sharing the responsibility like these words. So option C and D are the wrong ones, and here we are providing the opportunities to the children to select the books independently as per their interest, so that the reading comprehension or the love for reading will be developed in the students. Question number 13. The one that cannot be further divided into smaller grammatically meaningful components is A. Phoneme, B. Diphthong, C. Syntax, D. Morpheme. Here, the one that cannot be further divided into smaller grammatically meaningful components, that is option A. Phoneme means nothing but it is the smallest unit of sound. You know that phoneme means it is the smallest unit of sound. You can say that this is p, this is k, and d. These are the smallest units of the sounds. Here, in a cat, cap, and car, here the phoneme is the one which is making the word different, but the phoneme will not have a meaning for itself, but it will change the meaning of the word, but as a phoneme it does not have any meaning for itself. So option A is the right one. And let us know what is diphthong also. Diphthong means nothing but it is a sound formed by the combination of two vowels. For example, you consider the word in. Here, these are the two vowels. Here, the sound will be starting with the or sound, and it will be moving towards the E sound. I is pronounced as E in English. So in. This is diphthong, the sound formed by the combination of two vowels. First, the sound will be beginning with the one vowel and later it will be moving towards the another vowel. And option C, syntax. Syntax means nothing but it is a meaningful arrangement of the sentence. Meaningful arrangement of the words and phrases in a to form a proper sentence. For example, subject plus verb plus object. This is called the syntax, and here the words and phrases are arranged properly to form a sentence. For example, Ram is eating apple. Here, this is subject, verb and object. You cannot write Ram apple eating. This is not a proper sentence. Proper sentence means it should contain subject, then after verb and then after the object, and it is syntax. And option D is morpheme. It is the smallest meaningful part of a word. This is the smallest meaningful part of a word. For example, you consider the word unbreakable. Here, un is having separate meaning, break is having separate meaning, and able is having a separate meaning. So here, unbreakable are the morphemes. They will be having a separate meaning. The difference between phoneme and the morpheme is phoneme is the smallest unit of a sound and morpheme is the smallest meaningful part of a word. Meaningful part of a word. So option here, the option is morpheme, phoneme, which cannot be further divided into the smaller grammatical meaningful components. We cannot break the phoneme. Okay, option A is the right one. Next, question number 14. Small kids at the initial stage allowed to move pen and pencil in to and fro or up and down direction. This way of writing is A. Scribbling, B. Invented writing, C. Zigzag writing, and D. Drawing. In the initial stage, we'll be asking the kids to draw with the pencil or the crayon in to and fro direction or in the up and down position. This is called scribbling. Here, scribbling helps the students to develop the fine motor skill. The finger movement of the fingers will be developed, and also pencil grip will be developed in the students. So option A is the right answer, and B, C, D are the wrong ones. Next, question number 15. Formative assessment helps in A. Creating an environment where learners can compete with each other. B. Assessing a teacher's efficiency in teaching. C. Engaging learners in meaningful tasks and preparing them for competitive exams. D. Providing qualitative feedback to learners to improve. Here, formative assessment helps in. Formative assessment means nothing but it goes on during the teaching and the learning process, and the formative assessment is not for creating competition between the students, and this is the wrong one. Assessing a teacher's efficiency in the teaching, it is not particularly for testing the efficiency of the teacher, and this is the wrong one. Engaging learners in meaningful tasks and preparing them for competitive exams. Our aim of assessment is not for preparing the competitive exams, but our aim of giving the formative assessment is providing qualitative feedback to the learners to improve. Remember that formative assessment is done during the teaching and the learning process, and it helps both the teachers and the learners to improve their teaching and the learning. For example, it will help the students to improve their learning, and it will help the teacher to improve the teaching. It is helpful for both the teachers and the students. So option D is the right ones. I hope you have enjoyed the session. If you have not yet share, and subscribe my channel, please do like, share and subscribe my channel and encourage me. Thanks for watching.